This video is going to be discussing inverse square law. If you'll remember back to the drawing that I had that connects PDDs, TAR, backscatter factor, as well as the inverse square law, this has to deal with a situation in which you have a radiation beam that's delivering a certain amount of dose, as you can see here, 55 centigrade per minute, and it's delivering it out in the middle of air. And we are measuring at a distance of 100 cm. And what is the intensity of this particular beam at 115? This is going to be another one of your questions that could be on the board. So that's why we need to go over this. How do we deal with this? What do we do? Well, since we're moving from an SSD of 100 to 115, the answer, which in this case is 42, should be lower than what we have here, which is 55. So how do we come up with that? Well, if we put 55 here and we multiply that by, and sorry for the crude number drawing here, it's pretty bad. And we take that and we square it because it's subject to the inverse square law. We end up with 55 times 100 squared, which that's pretty wacky here. I think I hit something. Let's try this again. 100 squared over 115 squared. When you multiply all of that out, you get 100 squared. If you basically take 100 multiplied by 100, then you end up with 10,000. So we've got 55 times 10,000 divided by 115 times 115. On the bottom here, you have 13,000. Tell you what, the mouse here isn't working for me, so let's try the stylus, which I should be doing in the first place, but it wasn't. So there we go. 100 squared over 115 squared is equal to 55 times 10,000 divided by 13,000 to 25. So if we take 55 times 10,000 and divided by 13,225, we end up with 41.58 or 41.6 centigrade per minute, which in this particular case, I'm just having you round to the nearest ones place. So it'll be 42 centigrade per minute. Now, again, this number that it was moving to ends up being greater than the number that we started with. So therefore, since the beam has more of a squared room to dissipate, this falls off. If, however, we were moving from say 100 to say 80, this number would end up being greater than this. So bear that in mind as you go through and work these problems. Again, this one, just as a final note, this is just one question in the homework assignment, Chapter 9 ISL, and you can rework this question as many times as you want to in order to be able to practice it.